Aloha kakahiyaka. I would like to call today's Board of Trustees meeting to order. Let the record reflect it is Tuesday, March 5th, and the time is 10:02. Board Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Ahuna,
Eo.
Trustee Akaka, Trustee Akina,
Aloha mai kako.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Galuteria,
Eo.
Trustee Souza,
Eo.
Trustee Trask,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Present.
Chair Hulu Lindsay,
Here.
and Trustee Akaka. You have 8 trustees present. You have a quorum.
Mahalo. Aloha kako. Welcome to our Board of Trustees meeting. This meeting can be viewed and observed via live stream on OHA's website at www.oha.org/livestream. Before we get started, I have a few announcements. I will be taking the agenda out of order. Community concerns and celebrations. Item 4 will be taken right after the approval of minutes and before we start new business. Joining us today, we have our CEO, Kapohana Stacy Ferreira. I would like to ask Stacy to introduce any administrative staff joining us today.
Aloha kakahiaka, mahalo chair, aloha trustees. Joining us today, we have COO Casey Brown, interim general counsel Everett Uta, CFO Ramona Hink, interim senior legal counsel Nichi Ozawa, Kelsey Wade, solutions technician, and IT systems engineer and administrator Arlene Aguinaldo. And chair, if I may, we have some new staff joining us, and I would love to take this opportunity to have them come up to the table, introduce themselves, and share a little bit about the kuleana they have and why they wanted to come and serve our people. So the first up, if I could ask Corey Nakamoto.
Hi, good morning. I am Corey Nakamoto. I'm the new HR director. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Very happy to be here. I wanted to join the OHA in part because I believe that the values that OHA has are aligned with my own. I also wanted opportunity to give back to the Hawaiian community and also to get back into human resources. I've actually been somewhat on the sidelines for a little while, but that is my background. Did anyone have any questions? Or? No? Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome, Corey.
And
Thank
if
you.
we could have Kuike Kamakea Ohelo join us.
Aloha mai ka luna noho, aloha mai kako, kakahi aku mai ka ia kako pakahi a pau. O wau no o Kuike Kamakea Ohelo. My name is Kuike Kamakea Ohelo, and I'm responsible in the role of director for OEV Wellbeing and Aina Momoana. You know, it's passion work for me, and I truly believe that the health of our people, the health of our lahui is reflected by the health of our Aina and vice versa. You know, and because of that, I am very ecstatic, very excited to serve in this role in OHA. And I look forward to the direction from our Pohana. And with that, I'm available for any questions today and in the foreseeable future. So
I have a quick question.
Hikino.
What are you most looking forward to in working with us?
I'm if I could just pick one, yeah, I think what I'm looking forward to most is our ability to build capacity for our communities and the future of our keiki. And I think that we have all the tools necessary to do that within OHA, especially with the leadership of this board.
Wonderful, thank you.
Mahalo nui.
You have to turn off your. Okay. I wanted Kuiki just to share just a quick fact about your mom and her connection to OHA.
Oh, mahalo, mahalo. O wau no ke kama o Kalani Ohelo, Lao o Kawahine Kamakea. My father is Kalani Ohelo and my mother is Kawahine Kamakea. I come from a pedigree of servant leaders, from 1970, 1971 in Kalama Valley, through PKO, through the movement for a nuclear-free Pacific, and then birthed me. My mother in 1976, 7, 8, was fortunate enough to be hand-selected by the kupuna at that time, to cart to service, kupuna like Anake Franchi Tesoro, and because of that, she was one of the first employees here at OHA. So I see this as kuleana, to my moku auhau and our kaiaulu and lahui to be here in this capacity to serve. Mahalo nui.
And if I could now call up Miniao Kawaihai.
Aloha mai kako. My name is Niniao Kauaihai, and I'm happy to be Director of Community Engagement. I want to express my appreciation to Kapohana for this opportunity, and I certainly look forward to working with our beneficiaries and being a translator between needs and issues, concerns, and maybe positive feedback, and bringing that to Kapohana and the rest of the department to work on.
And we do have one additional staff member, Loae Clayton, and she will be serving as a Senior Executive Assistant to COO and the Senior Director of Cultural Affairs when Hailama Farden starts on the 16th. So welcome to all of our new staff. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Stacy. First on our agenda is approval of minutes. Lehua, do we have anyone to speak on this item?
No one is signed up to speak on this item.
Madam Chair, I so move that we approve the minutes.
It's been moved and approved. Are we speaking of the 3 minutes that's before us? July 26, August 17, and August 17 afternoon.
Aye.
Mahalo. Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Ahuna. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa.
Aye.
Trustee Galuteria.
Aye.
Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Trask.
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
And Chair Hulu Lindsay.
Yes.
You have 9 yes votes.
Mahalo. Next on the agenda is community concerns and celebrations. Lehua, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
No one is signed up to speak under community concerns and celebrations.
Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is 3A, 1, and 2, Committee on Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment. Lehua, is anyone signed up to speak on these two items?
No one is signed up to speak on those 2 items.
Mahalo. I'd like to go to that number A, Committee on Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment. Trustee Akaka.
Your Committee on Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment, having met on February 21st, 2024, and after full and free discussion, recommends approval of the following motion to the Board of Trustees. Motion 1, move to approve administration's recommendations on new bills, items 1 to 7 through 66, as listed on Matrix 3, 2024, OHA State Legislature, positions related to measures affecting Native Hawaiians, February 21, 2024. Along with the following revisions, bill position changes items 288, HB 1689 from opposed with comments to comments. And item 324, SB 2289 from support to support with comments.
Do I have a second?
Second,
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Galuteria,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Trask,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
yes.
and Chair Hulu Lindsay.
Yes.
You have 9 yes votes.
Trustee Akaka.
Your Committee on Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment, having met on February 28, 2024, and after full and free discussion, recommends approval of the following motion to the Board of Trustees. To move to approve administration's recommendations on Matrix 3, bill positions related to measures affecting Native Hawaiians dated February 28, 2024, with the following revision, with the bill position change of item 160 SB 2591 from support to support with amendments.
Second,
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Abstain.
Trustee Alapa,
Aye.
Trustee Galuteria,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Trask,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
yes.
Chair Hulu Lindsay.
Yes.
You have 1 abstention and 8 yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is item 3B, Committee on Resource Management. Lehua, do we have anyone signed up to speak on this item?
No one is signed up to speak on this item.
Trustee Waihe'e.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'd like to move to approve the delegation of authority to OHA's CEO to determine whether a Maui wildfire disaster aid deployment grant applicant is able to provide the activities proposed in their application for the grant in accordance with HRS 10-17C1D. The CEO may further delegate this authority to a designee from administration.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka, Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa,
Aye.
Trustee Galuteria,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Trask,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
and Chair Hulu Lindsay.
Yes.
You have 9 yes votes.
Thank you.
Ma-
Trustee Waihe'e.
Madam Chair, I'd also like to move to approve the delegation of authority to OHA CEO to award Maui wildfire disaster aid deployment grants with tiered funding disbursements not to exceed $9,000 per grant. The CEO may further delegate this authority to a designee from administration.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa.
Aye.
Trustee Galuteria.
Aye.
Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Trask.
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Hulu Lindsay.
Yes.
You have 9 yes votes.
Thank you. The next item is 3C. Do we have anyone signed up to speak on this item?
No one is signed up to speak on this item.
Thank you. Item C, the action item is BOT 2402, acceptance of resignation by trustee Mililani Trask from the Public Land Trust Working Group established by Section 3B of Act 226, Session Laws of Hawaii 2022, and appointment of a replacement member to serve on behalf of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Judge, can you give, I'll entertain a second. It's been moved and seconded. I'm going to call on Judge to give a brief explanation to trustees and state that we anticipate to discuss this in executive session. You can ask someone, I'll ask someone to move us into executive session. I did.
We have someone that would like to speak on the executive session item, so if we can call for.
Oh.
community input.
Before we go into executive.
Move into executive session.
Okay. Before we go into executive session, I'd like to call on Trustee Akana. Trustee Akana, would you come and testify for us?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's good to see some old faces. Yeah. We're all getting older. Yeah. I just want to thank you for the time to come before the board to consider my matter that is on executive session. And prior to that, I just want to say this, that over the years, I have been a trustee for 28 years, the longest serving trustee. I was here when we got paid $25 an hour, $25 a meeting. And it was during my time that I threatened representative from Maui to sit on his lap and cook Portuguese stew for him until he gave us our salary and our medical benefits. OHA was a stepchild of the state. While we were elected like any other politician, we were not indemnified by the state, so that our trust responsibilities became the first and foremost important thing to me and to other trustees who served at that time. The first 10 years of OHA, the trustees received nothing other than the $25 a meeting or $50 a meeting. And for everything that OHA got, we had to fight. We had to fight the unions. We had to fight the state because the state didn't want us to join the other legislators in getting those kinds of benefits. So we had to lobby and lobby. And so through the kindness of Joe Suki, who I threatened to make Portuguese soup for him until he considered that we were not stepchildren of the state, but we were elected like everyone else, and our responsibilities were greater. And so finally, we got our medical in 1993 or 4. And so it was long after OHA was created in 1980, and no salary. And in that year, we received a salary, a small one, of $35,000. Even then, we were set aside in the sense that the governor, whoever the governor was at the time, would have to appoint a commission to see whether or not OHA could receive higher payments for their salary, even though we had dual responsibilities. So from the beginning, OHA has struggled to come where it is today. And so I come before you today to say this, that my case is not about me personally. It is about the priority of OHA, that we are the fourth branch of government. People don't recognize that. But in the Constitution, under Chapter 10, that's why I advise all of you to really read Chapter 10 and know that what your rights are. The Ethics Commission has no right telling you you cannot use trustee allowance for the funds that they said I misused. I didn't misuse them. I followed OHA policies. And so one of my main complaints against the Ethics Commission for doing that to me was that they're penetrating the trust. If the state is allowed to tell you how to use beneficiary funds, the trust will be broken. And this is a big concern to me. You see what happened to Kamehameha schools. People are barely Hawaiian going there now, if Hawaiian at all. You cannot allow, this is the only Hawaiian trust for the beneficiaries that are less than 50%. This is the second trust. And under the governorship of Governor Waihee, he was the one that said, the Cedar Land Trust must go for the less than 50s because the 50%ers have Hawaiian homes, but the less than 50s don't have any benefits. And this is why the trust is important for the future of OHA. You cannot allow the state, especially the Ethics Commission, who has no right over ceded land funds. None. These are trust funds. And under the law, trustees are allowed to make policies governing those trust funds. And so I advise you guys to really look at this because it isn't just me, it's all of you. All of you. All of your trustee allowances now are going to be questioned. Why? Because the Ethics Commission says so? No. The Ethics Commission has nothing to do with your trust funds unless you misuse them in a way that you can be personally sued. And that's the most important thing. If you want your beneficiaries in the future to inherit something from this trust, you must protect it. And don't look at me as an individual. Look at me as a trustee. I should have sued OHA. I really should have, but I didn't want to do that. The thing is, my trustee allowances were all okayed by our fiscal department. That is the responsibility of the administration. If the administration okayed those things and I received my check, how can the Ethics Commission come back 5 years later and tell me, oh, you weren't supposed to give $50 to the Christmas get together for the staff? That's always been allowed. Even legislators do that. But who is the Ethics Commission to tell you that? Are you going to let them do that to you or to this agency or to this trust? So I ask you to think about it. OHA has come a long way at the sacrifices of people like myself who came way before you. Don't let this happen. Do not. That's all I have to say to you, because it isn't just me. It's all of you. And it's the trust for the future. Protect that trust.
Thank you. Thank you, trustee, for coming to talk with us. So colleagues, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session so we can continue item C.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we go into executive session.
Trustee Ahuna. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina. Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteria. Trustee Souza. Trustee Trask.
Aye.
Trustee Waihee. Chair Hulu Lindsay.
Aye.
I'm sorry. Oh, there are 9 yeses. We are going into executive session.